in the pulsating, pixelated sprawl of the internet's boundless multiplex, where every Twitch stream is a neon-lit premiere.
I need to stop saying this because it's like the best piece of career advice for Hasan. But Hasan's ego is so fragile. I cannot believe that Hasan doesn't dual stream to YouTube, but it's just because he's worried about because his Twitch numbers dip a little because people watch on YouTube, and Hasan would rather have one 20,000 view stream than two 15,000 view streams. It's insane how stupid it is for him to not be streaming on YouTube. That is the number one huge upgrade, I think. It's probably one of the last bastions of audience grabs that he could do, since he has so much trouble, I think, breaking into other markets. How do you know that, Destiny? Because he tried to dual stream, I think a couple years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, I think. He tried to stream dual stream, and I think he even commented on the lower Twitch numbers. But yeah, it's just such a no-brainer that he should be dual streaming. To be charitable, he almost certainly has exclusivity, right? Nope, I don't think those contracts exist on Twitch anymore because he doesn't have the special ad button or anything, so there's no, What's more retarded, that or Asmongold having an anxiety attack if he streams on the wrong account? Well, he's probably at this point got a lot of PTSD built up on that account, so it's just an exposure therapy thing. He'd have to start doing it to get over the bad associations with it, I think. Do you think YouTube streaming will continue to grow and grow faster than Twitch? I don't know. I haven't checked the market numbers at all. I don't even know how reliable the publicly posted ones are. Why no Rumble streams? I don't know. Actually, when I redid all my business a couple months ago, I got my all ready to try stream to Rumble, and I just haven't done it. I don't know if I will.
Tonight he's diving into a mystery that feels like a plot twist in a psychological thriller. Why does Hasan Piker, the Twitch titan with a 20,000 viewer army and a knack for turning rants into viral gold, refuse to stream on YouTube? Destiny's tone is equal parts incredulous and gleeful, like a cinephile who's just uncovered a plot hole in a beloved franchise. He speculates with the fervor of a detective piecing together clues, suggesting that Hasan's absence from YouTube is less about strategy and more about a fragile ego, a fear that splitting his audience across platforms might dim the glow of his Twitch numbers. It's a moment that's both absurd and electric, a snapshot of streaming's high-stakes chess game, where every move is scrutinized and Destiny's stream is the board where the pieces collide. Let's rewind and set the stage. Hasan Piker is a streaming colossus, a figure who's turned leftist commentary into a cultural force, blending sharp wit, chiseled biceps, and a knack for making Marxism sound like a TED Talk you'd actually watch. His Twitch streams are events, pulling in tens of thousands of viewers who hang on his every word, from critiques of capitalism to quips about his own absurdly photogenic life. But YouTube, the internet's great equalizer, where clips live forever and audiences sprawl like a digital diaspora, remains a frontier Hasan's barely touched. Destiny's theory is deliciously simple, yet cutting. Hasan's not dual streaming to YouTube because he's terrified of seeing his Twitch numbers dip, even slightly. He'd rather reign supreme with one 20,000 view stream than split his kingdom into two 15,000 view fiefdoms. It's a narrative that feels like a Coen brothers caper, where the hero's biggest foe isn't the world but his own vanity, and Destiny's commentary is the spotlight that exposes every flaw. The comedy of Destiny's musings is immediate, a razor-sharp jab that lands like a perfectly timed punchline in a stand-up set. He's not just poking at Hasan, he's roasting him, painting a portrait of a streamer so obsessed with his Twitch metrics that he's willing to sacrifice YouTube's vast potential for the sake of a few thousand viewers. It's absurd, it's hilarious, and it's delivered with the gleeful precision of a comedian who knows he's struck gold. Destiny's laughter punctuates his analysis, a sharp, infectious bark that says he's in on the joke. Hasan's ego is the real star here, a diva demanding the stage all to itself. He tosses out hypotheticals, Hasan's brief flirtation with dual streaming, the inevitable dip in Twitch numbers, the streamer's wounded pride, with the casual flair of a screenwriter pitching a dark comedy, fully aware that the truth is probably messier than his tidy narrative. It's a universal impulse, the kind that fuels gossip columns and Reddit threads, and Destiny's Stream is the perfect stage. A digital dive bar where the drinks are cheap and the shade is free. But beneath the laughs, there's a deeper current, a reflection on the anxieties that define digital stardom and the relentless churn of the streaming economy. Hassan's YouTube version, as Destiny sees it, isn't just about ego, it's about fear, the kind that haunts every creator in an industry where relevance is a tightrope and obscurity is a single misstep away. Twitch is Hassan's fortress, a walled garden where he's king, his 20,000 viewers a loyal army that hangs on his every rant. YouTube, by contrast, is a wild frontier, a platform where audiences are fickle, algorithms are ruthless, and the competition is a hydra with a million heads. Destiny's theory, that Hassan's too proud to risk a dip in his Twitch numbers, has a kind of tragicomic weight, like a plot twist in a drama where the hero's downfall is his own refusal to adapt. Hassan's not just protecting his ego, he's protecting his empire, even if it means missing out on the gold rush next door. The narrative takes a reflective turn as Destiny contrasts his own streaming strategy with Hassan's, a moment that feels like a montage in a sports flick, where the hero looks back on the choices that shaped his path. Destiny's a dual streamer, a pragmatist who's embraced YouTube's potential while maintaining his Twitch stronghold. Politics, his chosen niche, is a renewable resource, always sparking debate, always drawing viewers, whether on Twitch's live stage or YouTube's archival vault. Hassan, by contrast, is tethered to Twitch's immediacy, his brand built on the raw, unfiltered energy of live commentary. Destiny's musings on this contrast are both funny and poignant, a nod to the different paths streamers take in a world where every platform demands a different performance. He's not saying he's smarter than Hassan. He's saying he's luckier or maybe just less stubborn, and that luck is a kind of currency in a system that's as much about chance as it is about talent. The comedy deepens as Destiny tosses in a throwaway comparison to a Smongold, another Twitch titan whose anxiety about streaming on the wrong account becomes a punchline in its own right. It's a classic Destiny move, a tangent that feels like a stand-up comic riffing on the crowd, and it's all the funnier because it's true. Streamers are neurotic, their careers a high-wire act where every choice, from platform to account, carries the weight of an Oscar campaign. Hassan's YouTube phobia in this context is just one flavor of streamer anxiety, a fear of losing control in a world where control is an illusion. Destiny's laughter at the idea is infectious, a nod to the absurdity of a job that's equal parts performance art and psychological endurance test. But there's a shadow beneath the joke, a question about what it means to build a career on a platform that's so unforgiving, so trenchant. The metaphor of the multiplex comes into sharp focus as Destiny's Stream unfolds, each tangent a different screen in the internet's crowded theater. Hassan's YouTube version is the psychological drama in Theater 1, all ego and angst, while Destiny's reflections on dual streaming are the underdog story in Theater 2, a tale of pragmatism and hustle. His musings on Twitch's exclusivity contracts, or lack thereof, are the corporate thriller in Theater 3, a glimpse into the industry's shadowy machinery. And the broader narrative, the streaming economy, the chase for relevance, is the epic in Theater 4, a sprawling saga that's equal parts inspiring and unsettling. Destiny's Stream is the projectionist, stitching these stories together, inviting us to laugh, to question, to marvel at the strange alchemy of online fame. The narrative takes a speculative turn as Destiny circles back to Hassan's brief attempt at dual streaming, a subplot that feels like a flashback in a heist movie, where the hero's big plan unravels in slow motion. Hassan tried streaming to YouTube a couple of years ago, Destiny recalls, only to balk when his Twitch numbers took a hit. It's a moment that crystallizes the streamer's dilemma. Growth requires risk, but risk threatens the status quo. Destiny's commentary is both funny and empathetic, a nod to the courage it takes to step outside your comfort zone, even if Hassan couldn't quite make the leap. He guesses that Hassan's decision wasn't about contracts. Twitch's exclusivity deals are a thing of the past, but about pride, a refusal to dilute his brand for the sake of a bigger audience. It's a universal story, the kind that resonates with anyone who's ever hesitated to take a chance, And Destiny's stream is the perfect stage. A digital confessional where the highs and lows of ambition are laid bare. The tragedy of this story, if you can call it that, isn't in Hassan's YouTube absence or Destiny's jabs. It's in the broader cultural fault lines they expose. Streaming is a gold rush, but it's also a mirror, reflecting a world obsessed with metrics, relevance, and the next viral moment. Hassan's arc is a case study in that obsession, a reminder that even the biggest stars are one bad move, one fading trend, away from obscurity. Destiny's reflections don't dwell on this tragedy. They dance around it, poking at it with humor and curiosity, but it's there, woven into his banter, a nod to the hustle that defines the digital age. Hassan's still streaming, still pulling in 20,000 viewers, and that's a kind of victory, but it's a victory tempered by the knowledge that the spotlight rarely lingers. So here's to Destiny, the projectionist of Twitch's crowded multiplex, still spinning reels even as the audience demands more. Here's to Hassan Piker, the charismatic dreamer whose YouTube aversion is a testament to the anxieties of digital fame. Here's to the streaming economy, a wild, unwieldy beast that's equal parts dream and nightmare.